Bitcoin is close to becoming worthless.
Let's go. Now, what's the Bitcoin?
Bitcoin's like rat poison.
Yeah. Oh,
The greatest scam in history.
let's get it.
Bitcoin will go to fucking zero.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Bitcoin Brief, the show where me and Q&A catch up every 2 weeks to talk about Bitcoin, privacy, open source, keeping your Bitcoin secure, and the news and software updates that matter. I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been supporting Ungovernable Misfits, and a big thank you to Foundation Devices for supporting the show. If you haven't already checked them out, go to foundation.xyz. They make cypherpunk tools for fuckwits, and anyone can use this, even me. If you have any questions or you want to reach out, feel free and I'll be happy to go through things with you. For anything super technical, I'll pass you on to Q. If you want to buy one of these incredible passports, use the code Ungovernable. It will get you a discount and it will let them know that I'm shilling. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to the Cake Wallet team. Not only are they supporting this show, but they're also bringing out some incredible features. For those of you who actually use Bitcoin and actually care about their privacy and security, Cake Wallet make it incredibly simple for you to live outside of the traditional financial system. You can use Cake Pay within the app to buy gift cards for food, petrol, and whatever else you might need day to day. You can use silent payments, and of course, you can use Monero. You can connect both Bitcoin and Monero nodes, use coin control, and this team are constantly innovating, and I'm really excited to be working with them. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, but check them out at cakewallet.com. Download the APK or start using this today on Mac, Windows, Linux, iPhone, or of course your Android device. Enjoy the show. The Wanderer returns.
Hello there, how are we doing?
Very good. Not as good as you though, mate. How was your time in Ireland and all the Guinness and everything? I'd say I kept thinking about it since we last spoke. I was like, that fucker.
I had 3 AOB notes for the top of the show: mountains, Guinness, and caffeine. So which do you want to hear about first?
Let's do Guinness first.
Guinness, start with the best. Yeah, just had a lovely little weekend over in Ireland with a few friends. Most of my friendship group is dispersed all over the globe at the moment. We've got France, South Carolina, Portugal, UK, Spain. We're all over the show, so we try to get together once a year, and we're all big Guinness drinkers, so it tends to be in Ireland, and this year was no different. 2 nights in Galway and then 1 in Dublin because it was easier to fly back out of. Yeah, we didn't do a lot else other than frequent many pubs and drink lots and lots of pints of the black stuff. It was lovely.
Oh, very nice. You're so cultured. People all around the world going out to Ireland for a meet-up.
Yeah, got stung by a couple of the tourist traps. One of the guys hadn't been with us before for a Guinness trip, so we wanted to go into the usual, you've probably heard of Temple Bar in Dublin. It's like the biggest tourist trap in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at upwards of €10 for a Guinness in that place. It's ridiculous.
€10 for a Guinness still isn't, that's still not even London prices though.
Definitely will be, surely. I don't go to London very often, but surely it's less than that.
Sure, it's like 10 quid a pint-ish in places.
Really? Jeez, that's probably why I don't go to London very often.
The last time I went to London, I mean, it wasn't a pint to be fair, but last time I went to London with my missus and we ordered 2 drinks and it was just shy of 50 quid. And it was like, I had like a shawl and she had some like cocktail-y thing, whatever. It was like 50 quid.
Me.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal. I know it's different with a pint, but I'm pretty sure that's not too... And also, isn't a euro like 80p?
It's like 110, I think, isn't it?
Oh, it's 110, yeah.
No, you get €1.10 to the pound, something like that.
All right, so it's about 9 quid or whatever
Yeah.
it is. That's not very good maths, but yeah. Okay, well,
There's probably loads of Americans listening to this now doing the math going, oh, yeah, that's like normal prices.
Yeah. The thing is, the pound is much stronger than your weak, pathetic currency.
Yeah, not for long, it may seem.
Not for long, no. Anyway.
Next on my list, mountains. Prior to the island trip, I had a couple of days up in the mountains with the wife, up in the Lake District, which for anybody who's been there will know how beautiful that part of the UK is. Absolutely bounced it down with rain the entire time we were there, so we got soaked.
Of course it did. Nice.
But yeah, it was nice to breathe in the mountain air, switch off the phone, just take the dog and tire her out on a good 6-7 hour hike.
Yeah, nice.
I do actually have a dog, by the way. I'm not referring to my wife there.
No one was thinking it was only you. Took her out for 6 hours, tired her out. That was good. It's much calmer at home.
Put her to bed and then went to the pub and drank loads of Guinness.
We've done Guinness, we've done mountains. Caffeine? What's the caffeine up there?
Caffeine, yeah. So the irony of what I'm about to say is not lost on me after what we started the last Bitcoin brief about, with me talking about maybe considering going on a caffeine detox or cutting down, just like you, which we'll get an update in a second. My friend one of the ones that came to the island trip, funny enough, he's a big coffee aficionado / wanker, depending on whether or not you appreciate coffee. So he's barista trained. He's always had like the best of the best coffee machines within reason. You know, he's not a millionaire. He's donated his old espresso machine to me. So the last week or so of my spare time has been spent trying to dial that in and pour the perfect espresso. So that's been pretty fun. And naturally, my caffeine detox has now been pushed back probably until 2026.
Fair enough. I'm still on my 1 coffee a day.
How's it going?
Genuinely, I'm not that bothered now because there's decaf. It's pretty good. It's fine. I always feel tired anyway because I've got kids and other stuff going on in life. So I never drink a coffee and it actually go like, oh, fucking hell, yeah, I'm buzzing now. It doesn't really do that for me. It might just be because I've had it for so long. So it's more just the ritual and the flavour. So it's just 1 in the morning. But it's a much worse coffee now because we had a load of cafetières. They all got smashed by the kids. Then I got this mocha thing, which is actually quite good. And I was like, oh, I think I even said on the last show, it's like indestructible. It's indestructible unless you are incapable of doing 2 things at once. And Jordan phones you while you're making a coffee and cleaning the kitchen. And then it distracts you and you haven't actually put the water in the bottom. You put the coffee in the top, no water in the bottom, and you put it on a hot stove for 20 minutes as I'm just jabbering away to him. And then my missus came down. She's like, it stinks. It fucking stinks. And I was like, oh yeah, it does stink. And it was just the melting rubber from the seals on the inside had just completely just evaporated and melted and gone fucking everywhere.
Jeez. I suppose there's nothing you can do in that scenario as well, other than obviously turn the hob off. You just have to, I guess, let it cool down.
Yeah, well, I chucked it in some water to try and cool it down. The whole thing's just melted and fucked. It doesn't have the rubber seals anymore. So, I mean, I take half the responsibility for that, and the other half is Jordan calling me.
Definitely, Jordan's partially to blame there, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? It's because he's always just nagging on the other end and asking questions and pushing, and it's hard to think about anything else in life. So, yeah, since then, I can't even make a proper coffee now. It's in this shitty little takeaway cup filtering through. So, I'm not on my A game, mate.
If you ever want to renege on your caffeine detox when you're feeling a little bit more daring and you want to get yourself a new coffee machine, highly recommend the one I've got. I'll send you some details offline and I'll send you a picture of it maybe. If you like farting about making coffee, it does make a very, very good one.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see.
Other than Decaf Diaries, anything else going on in the world of Macs?
Not really, mate. No. Chainsaw's been out still. Got piles and piles and literally our whole garden now is just massive piles of logs and fucking leaves and shit everywhere. And now the next job is, right, now I need to get this to go somewhere. So that's all I've really been doing.
Well, luckily for you, living in the North Pole, it's very cold. You can burn it all.
That's true. Yeah, burn it all, keep us warm. We were getting cold anyway in our little igloo.
Mm-hmm. More AOB for me, some foundation housekeeping stuff. Quick final reminder for Prime. If you've ordered one on early access and you've been waiting for longer than we would have liked, please remember to double check the address that's in your order confirmation and let us know if you've moved, because we are about to start shipping those in the coming days. Again, I ain't going to put a definitive date on it, but it's very, very close. We're in the factory about to start provisioning and writing firmware to devices, so days away, thankfully.
Exciting.
Satoshi Christmas is also running for I believe, the 4th year on the bounce. For those that aren't aware, that's basically where we collaborate and run an initiative with 21 other Bitcoin companies over 21 days, so that you can basically just follow us, interact with us on Twitter, and just win free shit, basically. Albi, CryptoSteel, Blockstream, Relay, Cake, Solar Satoshi. There's loads of companies, the Bitcoin Way, Bitter, where you can just interact with us and be in with a draw every single day to win cool stuff. Check it out on Twitter. It's just at Foundation DVCS if you want to get involved. No charge, of course.
Very nice.
The last one, again, just another reminder. We're doing this literally on every single show at the moment, but the Pardon Samurai movement is gaining some traction, nowhere near as any of us would like. But if you're unaware, both of the Samurai developers have been sentenced to around about 5 years in prison each, along with some very, very onerous financial penalties that kick in once they are released. So there is a website, billandkone.org, where you can go and donate to their families to support them. And also very important that you sign the petition, which again will be linked in the show notes, so that we can go and try and get this in front of Mr. Trump, because basically the final straw that anybody behind this movement has is a presidential pardon, essentially, to get this stopped or to get their time inside cut short. We're looking for as many signatures as we can get, so please visit the links in the show notes and go and show your support. There is zero cost to signing that petition.
Yeah, I'll just add as well, apparently there's been some fake addresses, like crypto addresses, going up for people to donate to.
Right.
Don't be fooled by those, because from my understanding, it can only be payments in fiat for whatever legal or tax reasons. So if someone is posting something up and saying, I'll send to Bitcoin or Monero or whatever here, it might be a scam. As disgusting as that is, it sounds like that might be happening.
Yeah, Jordan sent me a link this morning, actually, about some Keone meme coin on Solana, and saying that they're doing it to raise funds and that there has actually been some donations made to the tune of like $5,000. Is that legitimate?
Well, according to Jordan, it is. That's like half of the total amount that has been donated. So whatever it is they're doing over there, appreciate you. Thank you. Because it sounds like that has gone over to them. What I'm saying is, if someone's saying send to this Bitcoin address, be at least skeptical and just double and triple check, because to my understanding, that's not possible and it has to be in fiat. So don't let some disgusting scammer steal the money that should go to them.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want to stay up to speed and catch up with what the hell is going on, Keone's been on loads of live streams and podcasts over the course of the last couple of weeks. You've only got to take 2 minutes scrolling through my Twitter feed or Econom Alchemist Twitter feed to see links to all of those. If you want to go and hear his side of the story and, quite frankly, the true insanity of everything that's gone on, have a quick scroll through and just click some of those links and hear what he's got to say, because it's honestly pretty gut-wrenching. I did listen to all of them, did not enjoy it in any way, shape or form. Pretty black-pilled with the ecosystem at the moment. Obviously, this is a massive driver of that, and seeing what happens to people that make open source software. It's difficult for me at the moment to look at things with a positive light. I don't know whether you're kind of feeling the same way, Max.
Oh, mate, everyone that I speak to who's in our circles and has been for a while has all got the same, I mean, really ever since the arrest, but especially now, the same kind of, I guess that's what you would want if you were government. You would kind of want the people who really care about this stuff to become, not that you don't believe in it anymore, but you're a bit disgusted by the way that everything is going and start to slightly turn your back on it. There's definitely an element with me where I'm kind of so disgusted by the whole thing and so put off by the whole thing, especially when, I mean, everybody knows that the Samurai ecosystem was the shining light in the space, especially to you and I and some people that we looked up to in such a massive way. To see this kind of injustice does make you just think, I don't know, like, fuck this, / there's not been that much support from most of the Bitcoin space. Like, you're starting to see a little bit, we're starting to gain a bit of traction, but pretty much from the arrest to now, there's people tarting around on social media and acting like this is like, oh, this is freedom tech and this is this and this is that and all these words they use. And actually, no, it's fucking not, because the only people who made proper freedom tech where you could really actually remain somewhat private if you use it properly are now facing 5 years upwards in prison and having their lives destroyed potentially. And they're still singing a song and doing a dance about how special this technology is, but actually without people like that, it's not.
Yeah, tell you what's making my piss really boil at the moment is there's a few, I want to call them prominent voices, but there seems to be comments under anytime there's ever a conversation happening on Twitter or Nostr about this topic. There's always a few fucking idiots being like, oh, well, they pled guilty. Like, why did they do that? They don't get any sympathy from me.
Oh, that fucking Shartcoin.
He's one of many.
He's an absolute mong.
Unfortunately, but there's just some complete reprobates that completely fail to see the whole picture and be like, oh, they pled guilty, so they're getting what's coming to them. It's just like, I don't even know where to begin to try and explain how idiotic that type of thing is. Like, you know, if I was to attempt to summarize it, probably very badly, but everybody talks a good game and has a plan until they get punched in the fucking face. And when you get punched in the face by the US government, it fucking hurts, and you do what you can to minimize, you know, the impact to you and your family. So if you're one of those people that shares that thought, then politely just fuck you and keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, it screams to me, people like that they've never had to have any real hardship or any major problems or adversaries in their life. And it's all just a game, because anyone who's gone up against something as terrifying as they are, or even close to it, knows you sort of try and cut your losses somewhat. It's the same as walking down the street and 20 blokes with guns all come and say, if you don't give me your wallet and your watch, I'm going to fucking kill you. You can say all they're like, oh yeah, well I know karate and I'm going to, fuck them. No one's going to mess with me. Yeah, you want to sit. It's like, no, you will give me your watch, you give me your wallet, and you will hope that you keep your life and you can fuck off again, because your life's worth more. And giving 5 years of your life and coming out and still having some at the end and being able to see your family again, you're not going to roll the dice on 25 years, especially when you're going up against something that's completely corrupt.
Yeah, especially seeing the comments from the judge at the sentencing. Like, there's no doubt about it. They were getting the maximum sentence if this went to trial and they were found guilty.
Yeah, and 25 years at their age, that is literally
It's the rest of their lives.
The best part of your life. And you come out like really with a broken family and most of your life gone. So, I mean, at the time I was shocked that it happened, but once you start to read between the lines and see everything that's come out since, it's pretty obvious. And I would definitely be doing the same. It's not even a question. I'd definitely do the same, because you want to come out with something. And to be honest, I don't think I definitely wouldn't have coped with it anywhere near as well as they have, to go through that amount of pressure for that amount of time and still be standing and still be talking about this and being as professional as they are and still pushing. I think, to be honest, it would break most people.
Yeah, I mean, clearly Bill's taken the option to stay in the shadows and keep himself to himself, and Keone's taken the opposite approach and is being very public. He's on many, many live streams.
It's always been that way, though.
Yeah. The fact that Keone's is on multiple live streams showing his face now, he lost all privacy when it went through the courts, obviously.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's doing that when he's essentially on a countdown to go and hand himself in, where he could be spending every waking moment next to his wife and any other family that he's got nearby, just tells you the spirit of the guy. The fact that he still hasn't given up. He's exploring every single opportunity, and I guess that's all you can do. If you're listening to this, Keone, thoughts are with you. Thank you for everything that you've done, and we're going to keep beating the drum on Pardon Samourai.
Yes, we will.
Okay, shorter list this week, mate, with me being away for a week, away from HQ for a week. And also, it seems like everybody's on a bit of a wind down towards Christmas. It's a slow news few weeks from a news and updates perspective. So probably a shorter this time around. First on the list, the Dolphin card, which is provided or was provided by Aqua Wallet, which is Samson Mao's liquid-based wallet. I believe we've covered the Dolphin card, right? It's one of these prepaid Visa top-up cards that you can top up with Liquid, Lightning, or Bitcoin within the Aqua app. And then you can use that as a tap to pay in, well, anywhere that Visa is accepted, essentially. The big limitation of the Dolphin card was that I believe for online purchases, because it didn't support the 3DS text verification service, you could only spend $50 online. So it was predominantly better used in person, where you could use tap to pay where you don't have those limits. They released an update on the 3rd of December on Twitter, and I'll read it verbatim just to get all the details out. Due to an unexpected issue from our card provider, all cards in our program were suspended. As a result, your Dolphin card has been disabled effective immediately. Here's what users need to know. Your Dolphin card will no longer work. Any remaining balance will be fully refunded. Refunds will be sent to the USDT, so it will be refunded in Tether on Liquid, which presumably will just be within the Aqua app, so you don't actually have to take any action here. They will do that for you. Pending merchant refunds will not return to your Dolphin card, so I don't know what the outcome of that is, but clearly that won't affect many people. Here we go. If you're expecting a merchant refund from a recent purchase, please provide the merchant with an alternative card or payment method. We've sent all affected users an initial service update and we'll follow up soon with instructions, blah, blah, blah. I think when we initially talked about this, that we were like, this is a good option to have as a, private spend option, but we always caveated it with the warning of these types of services have a tendency to either get rejected at certain merchants or shut down, because people, when you start mixing the banking industry or Visa with things like Bitcoin, Liquid, Lightning, they don't tend to last all that long. This one seems to be no different. There doesn't appear to be any risk of loss of funds here. Obviously, you are at the liberty of waiting for them to refund you, but it seems as though, the communication's been clear, it's been good. So if you did have any funds, they are going to be returned to you. But again, I mention this as another reminder to be like, if you are going to use these tools, don't be parking loads of money in them, because, if history repeats itself, which it seems to have done here, they don't tend to last forever.
Yeah, tread carefully.
On that, actually, I have been talking with a member of the Ungovernable crowd, a listener, should I say, who will remain nameless. It's given me some pretty good detailed feedback on you remember on the spending show, Spend Your Sats show that we did on Freedom Tech Friday, and we covered off Dolphin, obviously, but we also covered off Freedomia.io, which at the time was a very new service, which is somewhat similar to Dolphin. It does have some differences, which I'll get into in a second, where it's essentially a prepaid Visa card with much higher limits, and it also supports the 3DS thing, so that if you can spend larger amounts online, where it will send you a text to verify, or quote unquote verify, the phone number associated with that card, so that if you're doing a larger purchase, that it acts as a single layer of protection essentially from your card being stolen. So it supports all of that, but it is a subscription service. I believe it's $60 a year for the basic plan. That gets you access to a card. It gives you up to a $5,000 per month spending limit, which is a pretty good number, actually. Yeah, you can sign up using any credentials you like, essentially. You can top it up with most things, actually. Let me just see if I can find the information for that.
Isn't there like a swap service on the back end or something like that?
Yeah, so they list USDC, Tether, Bitcoin, Liquid, Rootstock, Ethereum, Binance, Litecoin, and Solana. So you can top up via any of those methods. And I believe under the hood, they go through a swap service, side swap, something like that.
Side shift.
So that you can basically send any of those tokens in, and it will be auto converted with a small fee to a US dollar balance on your Freedomia card that you can then go and spend online. Or they also support Google Pay, so you can add it to your Android phone and then spend as you would with any other Google Pay card, essentially. I've got some sort of kind of field feedback from my contact. They basically said that this service works very, very well. They've done some large purchases for like flights online and had zero issue. They've also done smaller amounts in person for like coffee and things like that, and they just had zero issues, essentially. I would urge caution that the fact that this is being topped up through a swap service would say that they're probably not going to like CoinJoin funds. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, essentially, because most of these swap services do some soft chain analysis where they'll check that the funds are coming from sources that they deem acceptable to them. So maybe don't top up with CoinJoin funds, because it may result in your funds being I guess the worst case scenario would be a shotgun KYC. So topping up via something like Liquid might be better because those coins don't really have a history. Again, be cognizant of the trade-offs of Liquid. Nothing's perfect. But yeah, I just wanted to share the feedback from my contact, essentially, that they've been using this almost as their daily spend tool because they like to live on as close to a Bitcoin standard as they can. They've done small purchases, large purchases, and had a very good experience with it. There is, I believe, a Telegram group, which is linked from the website. Oh, that was the other cool piece of information that they mentioned. So rather than when I mentioned about the 3DS authorization thing where they send a text, traditionally with these cards, if they support that service, you'd have to then go to something like Text Verified or whatever and get like a phone number that's not associated to you if you wanted to do it in the most private way possible, obviously. They have a unique take on this where Freedomia essentially is the one that when you do a large purchase online, they receive the text. And then using the email that you provided Freedomia when you set up your account, which could be an email alias from Simple Login or something like that, they will then email you with the code so that you don't need to worry about all of the hurdles.
That's very
trying
clever.
to find a temporary number that isn't blocked, because most of them are these days, unfortunately. So that all you need to worry about is having an email alias to sign up and some crypto to top up the card. So it seems, based on what my contact has been saying, to be a good service and a reliable service, even for larger amounts. I will caveat it by saying I believe it's only been up and running for a couple of months. We have no idea how long this may last, but it seems to be going okay so far, based on what I've seen. I've had a quick poke around in the Telegram group. The operator seems very responsive and very supportive. But again, if you're going to try this, don't be parking loads of money in there. Just use it as a kind of top up and spend immediately type thing, because we've seen what can happen when we just talked about Dolphin card.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. I was talking to Seth about this though the other day. It was like, for people who are living on Bitcoin or Monero, there is a want/a need for anyone who's fully earning and living on it to try and store some value in USD or GBP or whatever it is you're using, because as the prices fluctuate, when you have bills and you have things that you've got to pay out for, you kind of don't want to be in the position where you're like, oh, now I've got to make a payment. Oh, we've just dipped 35%. That's a fucking problem. You don't want to park it on a card like this because you don't know, whether you're going to keep those funds. So he was mentioning other ways to store USDT and switch between them and stuff. It is kind of I don't know whether there is a solution, but something that's very useful for people who are living on it.
Look, there's trade-offs all the way down, as always. You hear us say this every time we record. Yes, you can have the stability if you want to store it in USDT, but then you've got Tether counterparty risk. They can lock funds, blah, blah, blah. If you keep it on a card like this, you've got counterparty risk of the provider. You've got Visa as a counterparty. And then the flip side to that is you hold it all in Bitcoin and you ride the wave, be that up or down. It could go either way for you. So again, there's no perfect solution, only trade-offs. But this card seems pretty good, seems pretty promising, but just use it with caution, tread carefully, and just be careful, essentially.
Yeah. Well, it's cool to hear that they're coming up with that text thing's very, very clever.
It is.
That's really going to make a big difference. So good to hear that people are actually innovating. And, we had a big moan about things that everything in the space often seems to be a bit fucking shitty and gay at the moment. But then I hear things like that and I'm like, okay, no, here are some people, again, trying to bring freedom to people, allowing them to spend, allowing them to use in a way where they don't have to dox themselves and give all their information over. And so that's pretty exciting to hear it's working well.
Yeah, absolutely. From what I can see in the Telegram group, it seems like a very active... It was giving me like 2020 Samourai wallet Telegram group vibes, if you know what I mean by that. Like everybody just seemed excited and everybody was helping one another, and it was nice to see.
Cool.
Next on the list, I believe the guys over at Rumble have started the open beta testing of their wallet, which may be interesting to you as a podcast host, Max.
Well, we can't seem to get Rumble working, but...
No, well, I was just about to caveat that. Yeah, we've not had much luck with it yet. I guess we could caveat that by saying we haven't really focused on it much.
True.
But now that there's a financial incentive to do so, maybe we will do that. The mobile wallet version of their app is available, but I tried to set it up this morning and I believe they've already maxed out the available testers because they said there was only going to be a few thousand people and it wouldn't let me sign up. So it looks as though it's still very early days, but from what I can see from a couple of screenshots, you can receive USDT, Bitcoin, and XAUT. which I believe is a gold-backed stablecoin on Tether, is it? Tether Gold, apparently. Why on earth you'd want that, I have no idea, but Bitcoin's in there, which is the main thing. I've no idea what's powering this under the hood, but the exciting thing here for me is that content creators can get tipped directly, just like they can with things like podcasting 2.0. But if I was a betting man, the amount of money that Rumble got behind them, especially now that they're tether backed,
Oh, yeah.
they're probably going to do this in such a way that is very slick and easy to set up and doesn't have many of the nuances and hurdles that podcasting 2.0 does. It'd be good to see a two-way integration there so that one can speak to the other, but let's not count our chickens before they've hatched.
Yeah, let's see.
I should also mention that this is a non-custodial wallet as well, by the way, which is good to see that they're doing that from day one.
I mean, if this happens, it sounds like it is. We've talked about it for quite a long time, really, but when it gets fully built out and people are using it, it could be really huge, actually, like massive.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as Gen Z and younger millennials, you've probably noticed it yourself, Max. Like, nobody watches TV anymore. Like, everybody's streaming stuff. Everybody's watching stuff on YouTube or anything like that. Like, that's where the attention eyes are. So if we can get Bitcoin integrated into those types of platforms in a way that doesn't completely bastardize the protocol, i.e. doing it non-custodially, then that direct consumer to content creator relationship will further bolster itself. And if we can do it on a platform that seems to be, for now at least, better ideologically aligned with us in Rumble versus YouTube, then I'm all for it. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, also, Rumble seem to be doing things the correct way as it stands, but a lot of these big companies do turn evil and they do start to attack their users. But the good thing about this is if content creators and the consumers are starting to use Bitcoin and they actually have custody of their Bitcoin, if/when these companies turn, it's much easier for them to walk away and to bring their listener base or viewer base with them. And it doesn't just destroy their lives. You know, like with YouTube, they can just switch you off, like, bye, you're not with us anymore, and you lose all of those followers and everything else. So it's definitely a step in the right direction to allow content creators to own their own business rather than be renting it through YouTube.
Well, to be clear, like, they own their own income from their business, but like if Rumble wanted to turn the Ungovernable feed off, they could still do. It's still a centralized platform. Like, they could still, you're not streaming here anymore, but they couldn't take any of your earnings, which is good.
What I mean is it's training the content creators and the viewer base to start using Bitcoin.
Yes.
By doing that, if they do get switched off, the move to another platform and saying, look, you can still send money to us, and here's how we're going to do it. We use podcasting 2.0, we use whatever way they want to do it. Their users are already used to sending Bitcoin, and that's a much easier move.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. That's two good bits of news. One horrible shit bit of news, and then actually one sort of not so significant bit of news with the Dolphin thing. But then this Freedomia and Rumble is two really good bits of news, which actually it feels like we rarely have.
It does indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have you help me work out here whether this is good or bad news, because I can't quite figure it out.
Okay.
The UK is going to be among the first countries to recognise cryptocurrency as personal property. Owners of Bitcoin and other digital assets will benefit from greater legal protections thanks to an important clarification to the law.
That's going to be bad, isn't it?
The new law confirms digital assets like crypto tokens can be recognised as personal property. Victims of digital theft and fraud gain stronger protections as legislation passes through the final stages of Parliament. And then here comes like all of the government fluff. Part of the government's plan for change for growth to boost the UK's reputation as a global leader in legal innovation. Fuck off.
Yeah, you can't. Bad.
Continue.
That will be bad. There's nothing good that is going to come from that. It's just going to be more regular. They already see it as personal property because you already own it as a person and it's not dependent on where you are physically. So for tax purposes, the second that you physically leave the UK and move to another country, they now no longer have any hold over it when you're selling or using it. Whereas with actual physical property, like if you have a home or rental properties in the UK or a business in the UK, they'll continue to fuck you and steal from you, whereas they won't with Bitcoin. So they already recognize it as personal property, and they already recognize that it's not geographically fixed in the UK asset. It's part of you, like an extension of you as a person. So it already is seen that way. All this is doing is going to try and like formalize it and somehow mean that you have to tick more boxes, or companies do, and try and somehow fuck you more on tax. There's nothing like good that can come from that. It's just fluff and bullshit and a way for more control, I would say. But then everything is with the UK government.
Yeah, as a quote here, historically, the law in this country has recognised two categories of property: things in possession, such as gold, cars, mobile phones, and things in action, which are legal rights, for example, debts and shares. This new law allows for a development of a further category to allow for certain digital assets to have personal property while recognising their unique characteristics. So basically what you just said, but in government speak.
In government speak, yeah.
Riddle me this one. How does this make sense? This means that as well as providing greater protection against scams, how?
Yeah, exactly.
Digital assets like cryptocurrency can be passed down through inheritance, e.g. we can tax it, or tax it more easily, should I say, because they already tax it, and recovered by creditors during bankruptcy, just like traditional assets. There we go.
That's what they're doing then. So to prevent you from scams and to make sure it's recoverable and to make sure it's taxable, it's going to have to be on some type of register, and they're going to try and do some type of non-custodial thing where you're going to have it with a bank and they have to sign for you to be allowed to use it, and they can actually take it when they want to, which is, I guess, the way they would always try and go, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be like Germany or the UK.
Yeah.
If someone's going to go out and like really fuck their citizens, then it's going to be their subjects. Sorry, it's going to be Germany or the UK. They're very good at it.
Yeah, seems to be a race as to who can cook their citizens the most or the fastest.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's not even news, I would say. That's just government speak. That's all that is, and fluff. Yeah. And I think we've got to the bottom of that. It's bad.
Yes. All right, let's hit some boost. I'll kick us off. Top boost comes from Welder Ian, who I had the pleasure of meeting at Bitfest a few weeks ago. Boosted with 2,222 sats, and he said, "Geez, Max, sounds like you need a full hazmat gear around your little ones." This was in reference to sick in mouth gate.
In eyes. Yeah.
Yes, lovely. Yeah. Q was too busy shilling strategy for me to buy him that beer. Haha. Keep up the doomerism, boys. It cheered me right up. I'm off for another coffee.
Ah, you bastard. A full hazmat gear. You know what it's like, especially when they've just started going to school. They're always fucking ill and you're always tired. So you end up just catching whatever germs and nasties they've got.
Indeed.
Yeah. Silas Thornbrook sent 500 sats and he said, instead of going Black Friday shopping, I'm chilling with Max Bit by Bit and Q&A from Ungovernable Misfits podcast and having a fresh cup of coffee. Fucking everyone rubbing it in. Fresh cup of coffee. Sorry, Max. Cheers, mate. Wishing you guys the best. Always ungovernable. Stay free. Also knock the booze on the head, so you can also rub that in as well.
Nice. Next boost comes from 2140 Art, and they sent 210 sats and said, great show, guys.
Thank you. Pies.
Hey, chingity ching.
Sent 121 sats, and he's gone away from his usual salute mushroom and strong arm, and he's just said, turkey, 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 turkey. Thank you, Pies.
Very on brand with Thanksgiving. And the last one comes from Nostagang, sent 102 sats, and they said, slappy Spanksgiving.
Thank you, Nostagang. Turkey's the worst meat, isn't it? Should we just put that out there? Like, I don't see the point in it.
I was having this discussion last night with my brother-in-law, and yeah, it's dog shit, isn't it?
It's just fucking pointless.
I just don't understand it.
It is the worst, driest, most pointless meat you could ever have. Most of the UK people have it for Christmas, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
And then everyone has it for Thanksgiving in America, and I assume for Christmas as well. We've never done it in my family. We've always had different stuff. We've never gone for that. and I just never would do it. I don't know. I don't get it. It is pointless
Do you think it's like a psyop by the turkey industry just to sell some meat?
that no one else would ever buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Like turkeys would have been extinct 2,000 years ago if it wasn't for Christmas.
Yeah. What would you do for Christmas without doxing your habits too much? Do you have like a preferred meal?
What, in terms of meat?
Yeah, well, just like what do you do for a meal? A lot of people in England do like a Chinese or like a Indian or something like that. They've gone fully the other way.
Fairly traditional, early afternoon, normally like 1:30, 2 p.m. Just a traditional turkey dinner, roast potatoes, all the veg, plenty of gravy for obvious reasons because turkey's dry as fuck.
Yeah, because it's so fucking dry. Yeah, it's like cardboard.
Yorkshire puddings, I know that can be a controversial topic, but we have Yorkshire puddings.
No. Oh, they're the best.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get no pushback from me on that.
Oh, amazing.
Pigs in blankets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh, you gotta have that.
Yeah, just very traditional, to be honest. Like, yeah. The only thing I don't have is sprouts. I don't fuck with sprouts.
Not even if they have like bacon in with them.
Not even once.
Not even once. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the Yorkshire puddings are an absolute must. They really are.
And you have to save it to last as well.
What? What do you mean?
I save it to last, the Yorkshire pudding. I'll eat everything else first and eat that last.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's so weird. Are you one of these people that does like, I have my meat first and then I have the potatoes and then like a proper fucking
I won't
autist,
do it
and
like
then you
in
leave
order,
that?
but I will leave the best. Like whatever I'm eating, doesn't matter if it's Christmas dinner or not. The thing that I'm looking forward to eating the most, I'll eat it last.
Yeah, I do that as well. I leave the best bit of all of the meal, but it would
Yeah.
always be a mixture. It'd be like, I'm going to have a little bit of the meat with that crispiest little bit of roast potato, that bit of gravy, whatever. And I put the final mouthful to be the best mouthful. Like, I don't split my plate like, peas go up to the upper right quadrant.
No,
that
no,
goes
nothing
down
like
one.
that. Just save the best to the last.
Fair enough. Okay. Americans probably don't even know what Yorkshire puddings are, do they? Do they have them?
No, I don't think. Do they have them over in America?
I don't. I think they have like they eat those like biscuits, they call them, don't they? Which is not really the same. It's like they don't have scones, they have biscuits. I don't think they have anything that would be equivalent to some sort of like battered. Yeah, actually, I don't know. Someone can let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. Have you ever had a Yorkshire pudding? And if you're seeing one for the first time because you just Googled it, let us know your thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, some people, only really northern people, have it as part of their dessert as well, which I find weird. I've never experimented with that. Yeah, I've heard a few people say it, they'll actually have it for dessert.
Oh, no. I mean, as the resident northerner on the show, I can't vouch for that. I've never seen that ever. Maybe I'm not northern enough.
You're not northern enough. I wouldn't even class you. You're like northerner light.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a divergent, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. What questions have we got? Any?
No questions. The audience has let us down. Like I say, it's a very quiet
fuckers.
week, so I'm just going to whiz through some updates and then we can be on our merry way.
Okay.
Cake Wallet version 5.6.1 was released 4 days ago. Not a great deal of Bitcoin-related updates. Customized the look. They've added dark and tinted app icons. I always like it when app developers go to the extra lengths of little things like that. Like, I appreciate those finer touches.
Mm-hmm.
Like being able to customize my app icon because I'm a big home screen customizer kind of guy. And I appreciate that. Makes me sound like even more of a turbo nerd than usual, but I appreciate small touches like that.
Yeah, well, I guess when you've got a big team like that as well, you can focus on those type of things and like refine,
Yeah.
like when someone's starting something new, it's like, okay, we'll get to that at some point. Whereas with Cakewell, I mean, we're covering this on the Monero Monthly, but 1 million downloads. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, that's huge.
When they first started sponsoring the show, I think it was around that time, Seth said they'd done 500,000 downloads. So in like a year, they've doubled again. So they're obviously doing something right.
It's the SFP effect, mate.
It's the what?
It's the SFP effect.
SFP, what's that?
Seth for privacy.
Oh, SFP. I told him it was because it was straight after the sponsorship had happened. I said, well, it's obviously just me and Q because we talk about what you guys are doing and we have such a huge audience and influence.
Yeah, there you go.
He was like, yeah, nothing to do with the devs and all the work I do. I was like, no, absolutely not.
I've just opened it after the update to this version, and the next thing I'm going to mention, the new navigation bar at the bottom. Very nice, guys, if you're listening. I'm appreciative of that. The one gripe I used to have, apart from the old colour scheme, was the ability to switch between, or knowing kind of where you were in the app between, like, am I looking at my history, my wallet list, the app list, and they've polished that off very nicely.
Well done.
What else have they got that's relating to Bitcoin? Smarter node switching or automatic node switching is now even better at finding the most reliable connection, ensuring your wallet stays synced and ready. Updates to AnyPay. We've enhanced our integration with AnyPay, making it smoother than ever to spend your crypto at supported merchants. What's AnyPay? Do you know what that is, Matt?
I've not used it yet, but I think this is where
I know
you can pay anyone with anything.
Yeah, so if you only hold Bitcoin and the merchant wants Fartcoin, then
you can scan the QR.
Cake will do that with a swap service for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it just makes paying much easier, which is actually a pretty nice thing to have.
Okay, very cool. What we got next on the list, Blue Wallet version 7.2.3 has been released, mainly bug fixes, but there's something in here that piqued my interest that says refactor Arc Lightning. I haven't had a chance to install this yet, and I know we talked about the fact that they were teasing this in the last brief, but that tells me that maybe it's getting a little bit closer to launch, and maybe it's hidden behind a hidden menu or something, because I'm looking at the app right now and I do not see the ability to create a Lightning wallet. So it looks like the only Lightning wallet they have is LND Hub, which is like you have to connect to your own node, so that's nothing new. So it doesn't look like the new self-custody Arc powered Lightning is there yet. They're still adding improvements to it, so hopefully that's going to be available for public testing in an upcoming release. Next on the list, Bull Wallet from the Bull Bitcoin team released version 6.4.0 last week. Loads of updates here, background sync, new hardware wallet support, Passport being one of them. We're going to have a Passport release coming out later this week, hopefully, that has a Bull Wallet export option. If you're listening to this now and we haven't released that yet, just use the Sparrow option. It's exactly the same if you want to test this out. Oh, there's loads of stuff here. Loads of bug fixes, hardware support, background sync optimizations, Tor proxy, Electrum server settings. So yeah, they're coming out the gates very hot after their big release that we talked about last time. The Zeus boys continuing to ship version 0.12.0 Alpha 4. Emphasis on the alpha. Don't run this if you don't want to be part of the alpha testers. What have they got? New features in 0.12 with private key imports. So if you're an OG with paper wallets, you're going to be able to import those soon to Zeus, which is pretty nice.
That's nice. There's not that many places where you can do it. You could do it on Samourai Wallet.
I believe Blue Wallet and Sparrow were the two that I know about.
I was going to say, the only other ones I knew were Sparrow, Blue Wallet, Samourai, and I guess you could probably still do it with Ashigaru, but I don't think anybody else.
Would have thought so, yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice feature.
Yeah, it is. If you're an OG with printed out wallets, you're going to want to upgrade those eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know of any other wallets that kind of still support that natively, do you? Not support it. What's the word? Like use it natively as like the backup option.
What, paper wallets?
Well, with like standard WIF format private keys, like just naked private keys.
No.
I mean, why would you?
The only reason I've ever used that feature is you used to be able to buy Bitcoin at ATM machines in the UK. So you used to be able to go up and then just put actual cash into a machine and then they would print out a paper wallet. And that was brilliant. Nice. But they've since closed all that down.
I was going to say, you're showing your age there, mate. You're talking about cash with private keys. Bitcoin ATMs in the UK.
All right, Grandad.
You've dated yourself there, Grandad.
When did they shut all that down? It must have been, I don't know, 5 years ago or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And it changed. It was like you could do it and you didn't have to put any information in and you just literally do it and it was done. And then it was like, now you've got to give an email and a phone number. And they started to like try and KYC at the places and then they just completely banned them.
Yeah, and now it's completely dead in the water.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, next on the list, the Dojobay.pw, for those of you that don't know the URL. Quick update on here. We've got a new logo and website. The new logo is incredible, by the way. Have you seen it?
Let me have a look. It was very nice.
A dojo with some water lapping up like it's in the bay. Like
That's
I get
very
it. Like,
nice.
It's just very... I don't know, it's got a nice red glow to it. It's, whoever's behind this, like, hats off. Like, you nailed that logo. That's awesome.
That's lovely. Do you remember when people used to 3D print those dojo housings?
I've still got one floating around in my office somewhere.
Have you? They were really cool, actually. I can't remember who it was who was making them now, but I remember it was around the time I think I would just built one and I'd already had all the housing and everything for it. And then I was like, oh, maybe I want to change that. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, Jordan, please put a photo of that into the 2.0 notes or the chapters. People need to see how cool these things look.
They do.
If you can find one. If not, let me know and I'll send you one.
And then please, if you are going to enjoy this and you're listening, try not to use Fountain because we spent an extreme amount of time making all the artwork and downloading photos and trying to get like a visual story to go along with what we're talking about. And then it just doesn't work on Fountain. So maybe use a different player.
What, the chapter art doesn't work?
Yep. We spent so much time with the recent ones I've just done with John, and John sent all these images and all the machinery that he's talking about and going into detail about so that people can follow along. And then it just shows one image for every single one.
That's really annoying.
He spent a load of time on it. Jordan spent a load of time on it for part 1 and part 2, and it just doesn't fucking work. So it is quite annoying, yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Do you want to quickly plug that show? I haven't listened to it yet, by the way, but do you want to just talk about it? Because it feels like it's going to be a big one.
Yeah. So we've talked about it for a long time between John and I. There's this idea of pleb miner becoming a pioneer miner and stepping out of just running a couple in the garage and trying to make something a proper business, trying to do something that can support a family and sort of go big or go home style. And John must be a year and a half ago from now, started on this journey of, rather than running the machines in the garage to heat his home, to go into running a gas well, a coal bed methane gas well with huge generators and all the kit that goes with it. It's, if you could see the images and listen to the show, it's pretty crazy. And I followed along for the last sort of year and a half and been on the phone with him going through it, and it's been a huge slog. He's been doing day-to-day 9 to 5 job, family, and then going to the well and working all of that just 7 days a week, like 15, 16 hours a day for the last year to get this done. And it's following that story. It's a very, very inspiring story. And I hope people who listen to it are like, okay, maybe I can do something similar. Maybe I can do more. Maybe I can join the Meshtadel or the Miner Mafia and find a way to go bigger. It's a pretty amazing story.
I have a few comments and just want to reiterate, I haven't listened to it yet. Number one, now we know why the Dolphin card failed. You're probably thinking, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, what's that?
John with all his oil and his coal, like he's killing all the dolphins.
You're ruining the planet, man.
Number two, I feel like John's got like a magic watch. Like, how the fuck does he do all this shit in 24 hours a day? Does he sleep?
A bit. He's just tough. He just fucking cares about his family and works really, really hard, but it has taken its toll. Like anyone who's listened to our shows for the last however long, 3-4 years, will know that John's been under massive pressure, that there's just like the life has been drained from him because he's put it all into building this, and he's starting to come out the other side, which is why it was the correct time to tell the story. And it's also looking back and talking about all the people who have been in our groups who have helped along the way, whether that's with advice or buying machinery or whatever else it is. And it's a really nice story. It's one that's close to all of us.
Point number three, just looked at the chapter art. Yes, you're right. There's only one image. And
It's fucking
it looks
annoying.
like Santa with a hood up. I love it.
Well, if you look in our chat where John sent hundreds of images in whichever one it is, the image part of the chat.
Just looking at it now, I've got 148 notifications in that chat.
Yeah, okay. So you'll see all of that lovely imagery which would go along with it very nicely, and then Jordan has selected each one to go with each part, and obviously it just doesn't work.
Okay, and final point, number four, you mentioned if you want to see all this, like don't use Fountain clearly because it's not working for the chapter art. Where else would you send people if they want to benefit from all the extra effort that's gone in here?
Good question.
Castomatic? Chad Farrow talking about that all the time.
Yeah, he does. And I think Apple either was or maybe already has integrated it.
Really?
I think so. I'm sure Chad had said that they were or they had, so I would check that out as well. There'll be other ones. If Chad's listening to this, he'll be so angry with me that I don't know other options. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can see all the chapters as you listen through on Apple.
Okay, I'm just verifying that now. I've just grabbed my test iPhone just to see if I can see them chapters. No.
And then if not, maybe we can add them to the Ungovernable site or post some on Twitter or something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool because it feels like the pictures here would help paint the picture.
Oh, yeah. It's not small machinery. It's not... I've been on the phone to John many times where he's on the side of a mountain with a massive crane lifting like 4 or 5 tons worth of steel onto something else. It's just like, it's all big stuff. Yeah, it's been quite something.
Well, hats off, John, as always. We're very proud of you.
We are, Dad. Well done.
All right, back to the list. Just to finish it off, talking about Dojobay, new website, new logo, which is awesome. They now have online dojo checks after a set amount of time to check that any of the dojos that are listed are still active and online. They've got a new verified dojo badges based on signing a message with the dojo JSON with your Bit47 payment code. So it's a bit
That's
more...
nice.
You can have a nice kind of assurance that the dojo that's called BTC Wrestle actually belongs to BTC Wrestle because they have signed it with their paynim, essentially, or their Bit47 payment code. Very nice. I don't know who's behind that. Don't want to know, but they've done a good job. It looks good. I like it.
Very good job. Very good job.
Last one on the list. This is just a quick honorary mention. It's nothing to do with Bitcoin, but I posted this morning on Nostr just to see if the Nostr folks had any questions, topics, or stuff for us to talk about. And the only response I got was from Tom Doyer, and he's made his own Nostr client called Pushstr.
Ooh.
Which I haven't checked out yet because he literally released it as he responded to me. Please announce the beta release of Pushstr, a push bullet clone that works via Nostr and Blossom with a focus on privacy. What the fuck is push bullet? Do you know what that is?
Absolutely no idea. All the stuff that you just said, Fluster and Pushstr and Bullet Train, nothing means anything.
Push bullet connects your devices, making them feel like one. Oh, so it's like a cross-platform message sender, notification, send files, blah, 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 but the Nostr version of that. So haven't tested it. Tom, thank you for your service. Thank you for getting involved, even if it wasn't Bitcoin related. So I wanted to mention it anyway, and any of the Nostr shills listening can go and check that out.
Yeah, thank you. Very good. Well, light on the news, but that was a good one. I feel more excited about the Bitcoin space after this conversation than I did before, which is rare.
Oh, well, I'm glad to have helped push you in the right direction amidst all of the doomerism. Hopefully it does the same for one or two of the listeners.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, I'll catch you on the next one. Any other news or updates or pushing some sort of shill code or something that you use?
No shill codes. No. Just please go and sign that Samourai petition.
Yeah.
And get involved with the show. Send us some questions. We're happy to take any questions if you're unsure about a specific backup method, self-custody option, inheritance thing, new ARC protocol, anything like that. Let us know. You know, I don't mind doing a bit of research as long as you don't tell me 10 minutes before we record. We'll happily cover off whatever you want. Get involved, ask questions, and give some topics.
All right. Thanks, mate. Speak to you soon.
See you, boys. Bye.
Before you go, miningbox.io help keep your online presence hidden. They provide anonymous server hosting solutions, virtual, private, and dedicated servers, domain registration, and DNS parking. They don't require any of your personal information, and you can purchase using Bitcoin, Lightning, or Monero. No personal information required. None. Zero. Miningbox.io. Stay ungovernable.